Hey everyone, TQ, a Dutch citizen, and TL, a Swedish citizen, met in London in the late 1980s. Their love blossomed, and like many couples, they dreamed of a life together. But they also made a decision that would later become central to their legal battle. They signed a prenuptial agreement in the Netherlands before their wedding in 1991. The agreement stated that there would be no community of property between them, meaning each would retain their own assets regardless of what happened in the marriage. After marrying, they lived in London for several years, during which they had 3 children. In 1997, the family moved to Singapore due to the husband's job. For a while, life seemed settled, but cracks began to appear. By 2004, the marriage had deteriorated, leading the wife to file for divorce in Singapore. The real battle began over the ancillary matters, i.e. custody, maintenance, and the division of assets. At the High Court, joint custody was granted, with the wife receiving care and control of the children. That means the children live with her. The husband was ordered to pay child maintenance and a lump sum for the wife's maintenance. Crucially, the court upheld the prenuptial agreement, making no order for the division of matrimonial assets. Dissatisfied, both parties appealed, setting the stage for a legal showdown. The Court of Appeal was tasked with resolving several significant legal issues that would shape family law in Singapore. First, could Singapore courts recognize a prenuptial agreement signed abroad under foreign law? Second, would the agreement be binding in Singapore's legal system? Next question, who should have care and control of the children, and how much maintenance was appropriate given the couple's financial circumstances? Lastly, should the prenuptial agreement prevent the wife from claiming a share of the husband's assets, or should the court prioritize fairness and equity over contractual agreements? Both sides presented compelling arguments, highlighting the complexities of enforcing prenuptial agreements. The wife argued that the prenuptial agreement should not be recognized in Singapore, claiming it was either invalid or had been abandoned during the marriage. The wife emphasized that during their marriage, they had shared lives, responsibilities, and finances, implying that the agreement no longer reflected their reality. She also argued that the agreement was unfair, having potentially been signed under pressure without a full understanding of its implications. On the issue of custody and maintenance, she argued that the husband's financial capabilities warranted higher maintenance for both herself and the children. The husband, in contrast, defended the prenuptial agreement's validity. He stressed that it was legally executed in the Netherlands and should be upheld. The husband argued that both parties had entered into the agreement willingly and with full knowledge, and that it should govern the division of assets. Regarding maintenance and custody, the husband claimed that his financial situation had changed, reducing his capacity to provide high levels of support. The Court of Appeal delivered a landmark decision that would forever change how prenuptial agreements are viewed in Singapore. The court ruled that the validity of a prenuptial agreement is governed by its proper law, in this case, Dutch law. Since the agreement was valid under Dutch law, the Singapore court gave it significant weight. This decision marked a turning point. Singapore's courts formally acknowledged the enforceability of foreign prenuptial agreements, provided they do not violate Singapore's public policy. The court recognized the importance of respecting the autonomy of parties in entering into agreements, while also ensuring that these agreements align with principles of fairness. Although the agreement was upheld, the court noted that prenuptial agreements are not absolute. Courts retain the discretion to ensure that any agreement does not result in unfairness or harm to the welfare of children. The court maintained joint custody, emphasizing the importance of both parents in the children's lives. The wife retained care and control, especially given the special needs of one child. The maintenance ordered by the High Court was largely upheld, but modified to reflect the husband's financial situation, with some payments allowed in installments. The court made no order for the division of matrimonial assets, respecting the prenuptial agreement. However, it underscored that each case would be evaluated based on its facts, and prenuptial agreements would not be enforced if they contradicted Singapore's public policy. This decision established a vital precedent. Singapore courts would recognize and respect prenuptial agreements provided they were valid under their governing law and aligned with Singapore's legal principles. What makes this case truly fascinating isn't just the legal complexities, but the deeper life lessons it reflects. TQ and TL started out their journey together, full of hope, but like many relationships, they encountered unforeseen challenges. They signed a prenuptial agreement as a precaution, perhaps never fully believing they'll need it. Yet life, in its unpredictable nature, brought them into this legal crossroads. The court's decision mirrors an important truth. Everything is impermanent. Relationships, wealth, and even carefully laid out plans can shift with time. Just as the tides ebb and flow, so too do human connections. The court respected the couple's initial intentions, but also balanced this with fairness and compassion, especially towards the children. It's a gentle reminder that while we strive to control our paths through agreements and contracts, life often moves beyond these boundaries. In many ways, the decision aligns with ancient wisdom, the understanding that clinging too tightly to permanence can lead to suffering. The court, much like this wisdom teaches, found a balance between honoring commitments and recognizing the fluid nature of human life. For anyone considering a prenuptial agreement, TQ and TL is a guiding light. Such agreements can provide clarity and protection, but they are not immune to the changes that life inevitably brings. Courts will respect them, but only if they align with fairness, compassion, and the best interests of all involved. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into one of Singapore's landmark cases. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.